I want to get into the company and into the bath salts. Like we kind of talked a little bit before this. I'm super excited about that because I'm big into bath salts and trying to find the best, always high quality. That determines results. But you mentioned the research, the studies. Like what are the benefits here for floating and kind of sensory deprivation?
Mm. Yeah, so really there's three, one, there's so many benefits, but really there's three main pillars of benefits that I like to sum it up with. So really there's all the benefits we're getting from the zero gravity environment, right? Because you're inside this tank. A lot of people don't recognize, like if if people are listening to this and they're not aware of what floating is, I can give them a quick breakdown if
Yeah,
that
please do.
helps. Yeah, cool, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so floating, it's really a powerful form of therapy that involves getting in a big, usually a big egg-shaped hot tub type tank, oftentimes a lid over top. But if anyone, we also offer like totally open float tanks as well, which look more like a small swim spa or a
Yeah.
hot tub. It's totally open, great for anxious and claustrophobic people. But regardless of the style, inside this tank, there's 10 inches of water. But these 10 inches of water are extremely super saturated with over 1,000 pounds of therapeutic grade magnesium salts. Commonly Epsom salts, and the benefits for Epsom salts alone have been well known and well documented for hundreds of years. I know you're a big bath guy, big Epsom salt guy, which is
Yes,
great.
indeed.
So, dude, you can imagine this is not a couple pounds of Epsom salt in the bathtub at the end of the night. We're talking about 1,000 pounds of this salt in a giant tub. So this creates an extremely buoyant saltwater solution. So buoyant that we could literally take a bowling ball, put it in the water, and it would easily float to the top like a cork,
Wow.
right? So it enables effortless floating. But it isn't just all the salt that's so healing. When you're in this tank, it's also totally void of all external sensory stimulation coming into the brain altogether. So you're in this tank, there's no light, not even a single photon of light. There's no sound, there's no smells, there's no taste, there's no movement, there's no speech inside this tank. And there isn't even a sensation of touch because the saltwater solution and the air inside the chamber is precisely heated and kept at a constant 94.5 degrees Fahrenheit, which is skin receptor neutral. So your brain, oftentimes when you're in there, starts to lose sensation and awareness of where your body ends and where the water begins, which can lead to profound spiritual and even life-changing experiences. But ultimately, floating is easy as getting inside the tank, laying back and floating and reaping all the beautiful benefits it has to offer.
Yeah, I've experienced it. I talked to you a little bit about this as well. I really enjoyed it. I think the first time you do a float, like my whole time, about an hour, was just kind of getting used to this feeling. Like, you're in your head. You're like, am I touching the side? Am I doing this? Like, did I just splash? Am I under what? Like
Yeah,
your mind starts to go and you're just like,
no
calm
doubt.
down. I
No doubt.
meditate and everything, but when you're in a totally different environment than you're used to, you think your mind is the only thing on. Your
Mhm.
skin isn't touch, you don't feel, you're floating, kind of, you don't see, you don't hear, you don't sense.
Mhm.
So the mind starts to go rampant. Second time, was able to calm it down, understood a little bit, and went deeper, had a wonderful meditation and kind of, a different experience altogether. And each time after that, I think it's a growth pattern in the float itself.